Yeah, I'm getting teased by people and went to Michigan.
Yeah,
They
y'all have no
bullying me
chill
right
with that
now.
rivalry.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
rivalry is something real.
we was doing well though for a minute. When Michigan was down, we was kicking their butt. During that stretch where they was doing bad,
Yeah.
yeah, we was kicking their butt. But overall they got us.
All right, man. Lift off, man. Let's get into some of these topics real quick tonight. I see your boy James Harden missed out on practice again with the 76ers. I'm hearing he's out due to some personal issues, but timing is always everything, especially with
Right.
everything that's been happening with him and this organization. What's your thoughts about James Harden being MIA, you know, when we're about to go into the regular season?
Well, I kind of figured he was. I felt he was going to do something. I don't think he can go really crazy unless he just totally gave up on the possibility of playing in the league again. But he's pulling some shenanigans. He really wants that trade to go through to the Clippers, and
He don't have no leverage.
he don't. He's just pouting at this point. The leverage is all on Philly's side. I know that Maury is maybe told him some things about the money, but hey, at this point you got to be professional. You got to protect the rest of your career so you can get paid. Honestly, if he didn't pull all these shenanigans, he'd probably get another $200 million contract or so just off his name.
I'm thinking he's going to wind up getting what he wants as far as being put in a different destination. Like he going to find his way out of Philly. Like they not going to really deal with this. I don't believe for 82 games, but I don't believe that he's going to get sent to a destination of his choice. You know what I'm saying? Like he's playing with fire, and I just don't feel like he got any leverage. But he said he was going to play for the 76ers. He said, he kind of went back on his word. First, he said he wouldn't play for a team that had Daryl Morey as the GM. Then he just recently said that he was expecting to play or start the season off. But now he's MIA, due to personal reasons. But, 1+1 is 2. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We've kind of read this book before with James Harden when he in Houston. Like this is kind of similar to what happened there.
Yeah, he turned all that money down there. I forgot about he turned that big extension down because he didn't want to play there anymore. Remember, it was like 200 something million then.
Yep, yep.
And then all of a sudden, he wanted to get traded. I guess Morey had already left and went to Philly. He really wanted to go there, but Kyrie and probably Kevin Durant mostly talked him into coming to Brooklyn, and that's where they traded him to.
And
But he,
Daryl Morey, he was willing to actually trade James Harden. He's not putting it out there like, oh no way, James Harden, I'm trading him. But the asking price got to be high, and I don't know if the Clippers are, what do they have to offer? They have been behind the scenes. I heard been shopping Paul George, but I'm thinking you will want to keep Paul George if you're gonna bring James Harden. Do you think that's an even swap
well, from what I read, is that Morey asked for Paul George for
for
James
James
Harden.
Harden?
Yeah, he said they're not serious. He's like, give me a star for a star, and or of course he wanted Terrence Mann, who I think would be a good pickup for Philly. He's still young enough where he's 27, and he's never really had the opportunity to really take the reins and be a star. But I think him and what is it? What's the young fella out there in Philly? Um, not Terrence. What's his name? I always get them mixed up because they both
Who
kind of
turns
young.
man?
Not Terrence Mann. The one that's in Philly.
Um, I can't think of who you're talking about.
He comes off the bench. Either way, they would be a nice pairing together. With Embiid. But yeah, like it does make sense, and especially since Paul George might walk this summer. There's no guarantee he's going to stay with the Clippers. They ain't offer him no big contract, and that stadium is about to open next year. That's another reason why I think that James Harden will, even if he doesn't get traded to the Clippers, he'll probably go there next year because they need a star to open that building with.
I'm thinking the Clippers are going to have to max out. If they are interested in getting James Harden, they're going to have to max out. Like, they can't afford to get rid of a Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, like any of their key pieces. They need James Harden because you can't expect to build a new culture around James Harden for the next couple of years. Not to say that he won't be around to play, but he's not the type of guy that I want to, like I said, build a new basketball culture around. Like, I don't want that type of attitude and environment rubbing off on my young guys for
Right.
the next couple seasons. So if you're going to pick them up, it's definitely win now. And if you get rid of one of those guys that you already have in position, I definitely don't see it making a impact for the Clippers. But like I said, they have been shopping Paul George behind the scenes. I know Paul George was up for grabs in a possible trade to New York
Yeah, I heard about
for
that.
for the Knicks, but that didn't fall quite through. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But James Harden, he's MIA for the preseason, and we just gonna have to see how it play out for the regular season. But do you think he's going to play the remainder of the season in Philly, or do you think he's going to be gone before the year's out?
Well, I'm thinking of it. The other player name was Maxi. Can't think of his first
Okay,
name.
that's right.
Um, but no, I think that it makes sense for Philly. Philly's gonna have to trade him no matter what. He has to be traded. They can't just let him walk and don't get anything for him with all those assets they gave up to get him. So they're gonna have to get something for him. It's just about right now. Maury's trying to maximize everything he can to get him because he's trying to save his job, and they're trying to think about ways to keep Embiid happy in Philly. And they make this trade doesn't go well at all. He's definitely out. I think he's gonna be out no matter what, but he's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
out.
yeah. Like it does. There's no way they can fix what's happening right now behind the scenes with Joel Embiid. I think it's just a matter of time before we see him find his way either to New York or Miami. Like, I think what's done is done when we talk about the relationship of Embiid and Philly. Because even if you didn't have this issue with personnel and GM with Daryl Morey and James Harden, Philly still wouldn't be favorites to win no damn championship. Now, especially since Dame is now over there joining Giannis, it's an even, tougher or difficult road for the 76ers. So I definitely expect Joel Embiid to follow suit and possibly demand a trade before it's all said and done with. But I don't blame Daryl Morey for holding out and making sure that the decision that's being made is best for the team.
Correct.
Because let's be honest, bro, James Harden was just too disrespectful.
Yeah.
Why give him anything?
Well, you know, on paper, Philly could, be a championship contender. It's just that, as you say, the culture there is not good with James Harden there. It was reports that he was trying to be the number one. That was the beef he had with what's his name, the coach. They got fired. Doc. He wanted to be given more touches more than Embiid, and that was the beef. He wanted to go back to Houston, James Harden.
Do you agree or disagree with that sentiment though?
To put him back to Houston, James Harden?
No, give him or give him more touches at least.
No, it's Embiid's team, and he shouldn't want to be Houston, James Harden. You got a great player. That was the problem he had in Houston. He didn't let Dwight Howard really get off. He was having issues with Chris Paul. He even had issues with Russell Westbrook.
But Hank, he had his best playing years in Houston. He won the MVP of the season of the league in Houston.
He did.
And I had an argument with the guys, I think what, just a couple of days ago about this very topic. When you talk about James Harden, a lot of people feel like he fell off. And I was saying that when he went to Brooklyn to play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, he really took this role of being a facilitator. You saw his assist numbers
Right.
went up tremendously, and he really became more of a facilitator than that score first type of guy that we saw in Houston. And for the most part, we have been complaining about James Harden from the time he went to Brooklyn up until now. And I'm feeling like even though generally expanding your game is good, opening up your game now that you bring in the assists element to your game. I think that's good for any other player. But James Harden, he needs to be that score first Houston Rockets guy in order for him to be who we think he can be. I just don't think that he can switch his game up and we're still ever going to look at him as one of the greatest to play because he's like top 75 according to the voters. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I mean, we've seen him. We know his greatness. He's proved it. He probably should have had two MVPs. Is debatable. The beef he had with Giannis, but it didn't get him anywhere. It didn't get him. It didn't get him to the finals.
That's true.
And the time he got to the finals, he played a role that was in what OKC. If he plays the role right and you got great talent, he can win. If they would have won, I'm sure, in Brooklyn had he not got hurt and Kyrie didn't get hurt. I believe they would have won that year, or at least been in the finals if they didn't
They'd have had
win.
a chance. They'd have had a
They
chance.
had a great chance. They were smoking Milwaukee, but he played a role. He, being you don't have to. They were talking about. I forgot which podcast it was. We're talking about, you know, in order to win, you have to play a role. That's the only way you're going to win a champion. There was some champions talking about that. If you don't play a role, you're not going to win. You just being, and you should want to have your, prior, what is it, priorities or filtered out to other guys, so you don't have to take all the shots. You
Well,
want
well,
guys to
well,
be able
well.
to.
They need to send that message over there to San Francisco, to Golden State, and tell that to Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
See if he's going to buy into coming off of that bench in order to win a championship. Because I promise you, bro, they're going to have a problem sooner than later with the Warriors when we talk about this lineup, bro. I'm not sold that Steve Kerr is going to be able to get that thing together. Speaking of Golden State, bro, Klay Thompson, Golden State has not accepted the extension. Those guys are nowhere close to his contract, and Klay Thompson could actually be a unrestricted free agent this summer. And I know some people feel like Klay Thompson is kind of washed up and fell off. What do you think the future holds for Klay Thompson? Do you see the Warriors letting him go after this season, win or lose?
Well, if you've seen the ESPN, was it First Take? I believe he was on. Bob Myers was on there. One of the shows, one of the basketball shows. He said that's one of the reasons why he stepped down was because of Klay. He wanted to keep everything together, and it seems like the organization may not want to do that. And at least especially with the asking price, maybe that maybe he was asking. But I've heard in other, I've heard on different podcasts, and of course I've read some. They're saying that Klay is willing to back off of that max money and try to work it in the budget to stay in Golden State.
He
So
ain't had no choice because the NBA doesn't pay generally off of what you've done. They pay you off of what they project you to do. And Klay Thompson, as good as a two-way player that he's been in the past before the injury, will never, ever get to see that type of impact again from him. And he still have his moments. I know he had a big game 6 last season, I think, in the finals. And he can, no one really can get hotter than Klay Thompson. I'll give that to you. But he's never in his career been proven to be able to carry a team. He's never had to be. So now you're dealing with that unknown factor, and then the injuries, and then the inconsistency, and then he's not the same player on both ends of the basketball court. I don't see why Golden State would max out with this kid unless they win again, and he's just that much of a pivotal role in them winning the championship again. I could definitely see them getting parting
letting
ways
them
with Klay
walk.
Thompson. Yeah,
Yeah,
why not?
I would, if I'm Golden State, business is business. I will give him, I do believe in loyalty. I do believe in paying guys for loyalty. And I also believe in trying to, keep that championship feeling together. But you can only give them the maximum amount of dollars that's right to keep your future intact, so that you can keep on trying to win future championships and bring on better talent to help the team.
Is he a top 5 shooting guard? I mean, it's kind of hard I'm trying to think of the other shooting guards currently in the NBA right now. Is
Yeah.
he top 5?
At one point, he was up there up top that list. I mean, who is the shooting guard right now? There's so much positionless basketball.
Right.
Who we got? What is it? The Donovan Mitchell, right? We consider him a shooting guard.
Yeah, yeah, most
I would
definitely.
say Donovan's over him. Um, Shoot, his own teammate is
Is
almost a shooting guard. Um, you think you're trying to see who else? PG, PG is shooting guard.
yeah,
When
I would give
healthy, I
Paul
believe he's better than Clay. Um,
Devin
are we
Booker.
Devin Booker? Oh yes, Devin Booker. That's for sure. Is
Um,
Shea? What about Shea? Shea
Shea
Gil.
Gilgeous Alexandra.
That's
You know, a
four.
lot of people they are really putting a lot of respect on this kid's name this season. Like, I think it was ESPN. They had him ranked over LeBron and AD. I think they had him ranked number 8.
Well, we know that they got to start building for the future, some future names, and they're putting a lot on him. They're trying to push him up to live up to that top 10. He's gonna have to do it this season, but I felt like it's a little bit premature to be on the top 10 and your team didn't even make the playoffs last year. But
And
obviously
then
we know his talent is awesome.
And I like the upside for Oklahoma City, but
Oh
I
yeah,
feel like if they win, it's going to be a team effort. It's not going to be them being carried by Shea Gilgeous Alexandra. I'm not sold that he's one of those type of players that can carry that team into May and June. Like, I don't see that right now from him. But collectively, I could see those guys being a Cinderella team and making some noise in the postseason. So I'll put some respect on OKC's name, but like you said, for so much to be unproven, they definitely putting him up there. Uh, trying to generate that new buzz of NBA superstar. So I get it. I definitely get it. But getting back to Klay Thompson, um, do you think? Because he always got something to say about the Lakers. Like his father played with the Lakers. He's from
right.
that area, but he always got something to say about the Lakers. However, do you think the Lakers could use him?
Obviously, shooting. His shooting. It's not a problem. Is he showed that he can still shoot the ball. It's just can they afford him and what roster spot are they gonna give up to bring him?
I mean, you're looking at the first half of this season not working for the Lakers. I don't think that there's a guard. Like, if it doesn't work at all, Austin Reeves, I think, is safe. I don't think, even though D'Angelo Russell played the best in this preseason, in my opinion, I don't think his job is safe throughout these 82 games if the Lakers don't play well. If he's not showing some type of good leadership, facilitating wise. So I think all the guards, is Cam Reddish. We consider him a guard, or is he more of a small forward?
He's a hybrid. I consider him more of a shooting guard, but I know he's so tall and lengthy. He's probably in that forward guard position.
You got
Um,
Jalen Hood, Safino, you got Gabe Vincent. Like, none of the guards to the Lakers, in my opinion, are untouchable. So I really could see Klay Thompson helping
yeah,
from a shooting aspect. Maybe, why not?
he can. And speaking of Reddish, man, I was thinking about him earlier today, man. I really root for him to do this. I think this might be one of his last stops
Really?
before they try to like get him out the league. He's been in a few stops now, and he was recruited or as being a better player than Zion and RJ Barrett coming out of high school and going into college. So he had the skill set and something. I don't know what happened, but I'm hoping that he fixes himself this year to at least he could stay in the league, and of course help the Lakers and help LeBron push towards that fifth championship.
I think we'll learn a lot from Cam Reddish. Playing with LeBron James, even if you're not the greatest skilled of a player, LeBron definitely brings the best out of guys. Guys want to win. Guys want to play for LeBron. Guys want to win for LeBron James. Like, we've seen it at every destination. We've seen role players who don't do anything anywhere else before or after playing with LeBron. When they lock in with King James, their talent gets maximized. So, with the Lakers being a defensive oriented team, defensive minded team, Darvin Ham being a defensive minded head coach, Cam Reddish, I would hope that he definitely finds his spot
Yeah.
in the Lakers long term, because he's young and the Lakers need as much youth as they can get. Like, we can't sit up there and
Mhm.
play like the guys that they have at the top of the food chain is going to be around for a long time. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of evaluating, I think, early on how valuable these guys are going to be to the Lakers. Now, I saw in the reports kind of switching gears. I wanted to talk with you about Carmelo Anthony, get your reaction to this, because Kion Anthony, his son, said he asked his father, Carmelo, about rumors that Carmelo will be coming out of retirement to play in the 2024 Olympics in Paris. And Carmelo Anthony responded he got a couple of months to actually see. Do you think Melo would actually come out of retirement to play in the Olympics? Should he be eligible to play?
Yeah. I
We're talking
mean,
about the greatest. We're talking about arguably the greatest Olympian, right?
right. The greatest Olympian.
For
Yeah. I
basketball.
mean, if they really gonna give him a spot and they really want him to help, why not? I'm sure he can still play. We know he can still play in the league. It's politics involved in that. The reason why he's not playing. He still got a few more. Plus, he had that almost 2 seasons off. His legs should be real great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to wrap it up, that'll be a great wrap to his career. Come in there, help the team. I don't know what they would call it, the Redeem Team too. Um, he come in there, help them get that gold medal.
You know that shit ain't happening, Hank.
I don't think it's happening.
They not gonna allow that boy to come back. Like, first of all, they don't need him. Like even though we kind of sucked in the FIBA tournament, we didn't have our best product out there. If
Yeah,
we
we
put
didn't.
our best product on the floor, we don't need Carmelo Anthony to get the gold medal. You understand? That's number one. Number two, you said it yourself. Like, the roller coaster ride that he had towards the end of his career, as far as being welcome and feeling wanted, what's his value so much that they need to bring him out of retirement to represent the United States when they wouldn't even put him in an NBA team in uniform?
Unless there's some type of that's their way of extending a I'm sorry to you. The NBA saying, hey, I'm sorry for you. Give him a nice little send off into retirement.
But he ain't graded. I don't. He's not. He doesn't. I don't. And Melo's my man. He's from Baltimore. He's from here, Baltimore. But he hasn't, in my opinion, he hasn't done anything to warrant that. He's not a Kobe. He's not a Michael. He's not a LeBron. He doesn't have any hardware. He
Right.
hasn't won any Larry O'Brien trophy. So it's like the NBA really don't owe him anything, even though a lot feel like he got mistreated. He got an opportunity to play with LeBron and the Lakers, you know what I'm saying, and just couldn't get it done. So he got his chances, but I just don't see the NBA bowing down, bringing him back. The only way I think this could happen is if LeBron James and them step in and kind of force the hand. Like, look, we
Yeah.
want this guy. We need, you know what I mean? If they play that type of position, which is possible, how close they are. But if LeBron and them don't get involved, Carmelo ass gonna be watching them Olympics with you and me. You better believe
Right.
that.
Well, he
That's
gonna be. He been. During those World Games, he was at a lot of those games and stuff. I seen him supporting the team.
yeah.
Maybe they'll bring him in as some type of ambassador, like my guy Grant Hill. He's part of the USA team. Maybe they'll do something like
Melo
that
want to
for
hoop,
him.
yo. Melo want to hoop, and
I,
Melo
I
gonna
know.
want to win. Yeah, Melo wants to win. Any type of, because he need accolades. Melo needs
Yeah.
hardware as much as he can get to have such a great career, and not really be able to win a championship. It's
Man, I,
been
I always feel bad because uh, he should have been drafted by my Pistons, and if
Carmelo.
he'd have went there, man, he would have had a great career. They probably, we won a championship. So the next year, when he was supposed to be drafted. So it'd have been great to see him, have that career with the Pistons. You think you had Ben Wallace, you had Chauncey Billups, you had Rashid,
They
man,
would have been they would have been crazy.
Chayshawn Prince.
But I don't think those guys would have been around because that's like towards the tail end of some of those guys' career, right?
No, that was the beginning. Well, it was in the middle.
You're talking
The
because
middle.
we talking like 2011, right? When he could have went to
2004 when he
Miami.
got
Oh, you're
drafted.
talking back then when he got drafted. Okay, okay, okay.
2002, 2003, right? The next year they won the championship.
Got you.
So they already had Ben and Chauncey. They would have drafted him and they traded for Sheed the next year and they went to the championship.
And the Eastern Conference was still weak, so yeah, they would have had an opportunity to build something special there.
And they've been in our favorite players' way.
Damn.
If that would happen.
Yeah, it would have been tough for LeBron, but it would have been tougher. But we watched what LeBron did to Detroit, so
yeah. But also, people forget Ben wasn't on that team. He left.
Oh, really? Ben Wallace?
That was the year Ben left. They didn't want to pay him the money. Sort of like what Klay Thompson's going through. They didn't want to pay him the money because of certain, he wasn't a good shooter. Everybody knows that. They didn't want to pay him the top dollar, but Chicago gave him the money. So that anchor of the defense was gone.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. What team do you think Hank got the brightest future out of the Boston Celtics, the Denver Nuggets, or the Oklahoma City Thunder? Which team got the brightest future to you?
Boston Celtics, Oklahoma City. What's the other team?
And the Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I got some more teams. I got 5 teams. The Celtics, the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, and the Warriors. Which one of those 5 teams got the brightest future to you?
The brightest future. Hold on.
I feel like it's Denver.
Yeah, I don't know. They about to break that up.
You think
the
so?
The salary's gonna get them.
But
That
they
new
might
C- that
can
new
they might can
CBA.
get one. They might can get one more, right?
They're gonna have to do it this year. I think this year. You think about it, man. They've got 4 guys that can start, and be a franchise player on any team. To be honest with you, Jamal, Jokic, Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr. They about to bust that up with that new CBA.
But I don't see like if Denver wins another championship, that'll be 2 in a row, right?
Mhm.
And they'll be like the 5th team in NBA history to ever win back-to-back championships on their first 2 trips to the finals. But I don't see the Thunder, the Celtics, the Warriors, or the Grizzlies winning multiple championships anytime soon.
Right. If we say the future, you talking about in the next 5 years?
Hypothetically.
Yeah, I would put it towards. I don't know. I think Boston on their last leg too. I think it's probably OKC. OKC. Golden State they're gonna be on their last leg. They're gonna have to break. They already started breaking up their stuff with the. We already talked about Klay. He's probably gone. They traded Wiseman. That was a salary cap move. You know that, right? They traded him to Detroit.
Yeah.
That was a salary cap move. They didn't want to pay the luxury tax.
But with OKC, I feel like from a vantage point of them being a better team than before, yeah, they'll do that. But I don't know if they can beat these best teams in the Western Conference in the 7-game series. Those guys, to me, aren't proven enough to do that. So,
right,
when I think about OKC, I just have expectations of them being better as a franchise, as an organization than last year, than or years in the past. Being a liable threat. I don't want to take nothing away from their potential of maybe being a shocker in the postseason. Now that we got the play-in tournament and stuff like that. But I don't see OKC right now being able to beat Denver in a 7-game series, Phoenix in a 7-game series, the Lakers or the Clippers in a 7-game series. I don't think they built for that.
We're back to Baby Thunder days, just like Kevin Durant. Now this is Baby Thunder too.
But with
Um,
potential though. But
but
with
potential,
potential though. Yeah. So I
with
like it.
potential. But remember, it took them few years to get it together. When I think they were still in Seattle at the time, and then they went moved to OKC, and
Mhm.
they built it up. And they finally started winning, getting on their roll. I think they're going to be similar. But you mentioned the Grizzlies. Now that I think about it, I think the Grizzlies in the next 5 years, as long as your boy do what he's supposed to do, Morant.
Ja Morant.
Yeah, they got a nice squad. They got a nice squad. They put he gonna have something to prove this year too. The trader from Boston, the
Marcus
defensive player
Smart.
of the year. Yep, he's there. And they've got mother Desmond Bain. Um, they got the anchor of defense, my man, tall fella, Steven Adams. He's still pretty. He's not super old. He'll be around for a while. And of course, defensive player of the year. They got the last two defensive players of the year, Jaren Jackson. So they got a nice squad, man. They got to put it together. They got to be disciplined, play as a team, and yeah, their future's bright, very, very bright in the next 5 years. I think the baby Thunder is going to be a thorn in their side once they finally develop.
I'm gonna keep it real, and he did it last year. I can't remember the head coach's name of the Memphis Grizzlies, but I expect that team to have 2 seasons in one next year. And we saw when Ja Morant had got suspended, when he had went out, how Memphis made the adjustments, the necessary adjustments, and they were still winning games. I thought that coach did a fairly good job last season of that. He's definitely, without a shout of a doubt, going to have to deal with two types of seasons in one, because let's say hypothetically Marcus Smart get off to a great start helping these guys, and because Ja is gone for like 20 to 30 games.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? So Marcus Smart could get real comfortable. That offense could get very comfortable with Marcus Smart, and then when Ja Morant comes back, now you have to revamp everything, and people are going to have to buy in to the adjustment, because no matter how good Marcus Smart is playing for Memphis, you can't afford to still sit Ja Morant. Memphis could be fucking undefeated when
yeah.
Ja Morant come back, and you still got to start Ja Morant. So
Got to.
his spot is solidified, and I'm going to be interested to see how this coach handles this adjustment and these attitudes with these players in that second part of the season when Ja Morant come back, because that's going to be so key, bro.
Yeah, Marcus will adjust to an extent, but I know he's still got so much life
He
left
got an
on him.
attitude, bro.
Yeah, yeah, he do. But I think that he'll tough it out. Maybe he's another trade piece. They did what they had to do to bolster the roster because they knew about the suspension. Maybe they will trade him mid-season, or of course at the end of next season. There's obviously this
That can
season rather.
that can make sense. That makes sense. Now, what is Memphis like? How many pieces are Memphis away from making a major move? Like, you talking about trade bait? Like, let's just throw a name out there, like a James Harden, for example. Let's say Daryl Morey got a deal done with Memphis, sent James Harden out to Memphis for Marcus Smart and maybe a couple other players, for example. Does the James Harden experience help Memphis? Could that actually work with Jaren Jackson Jr.?
I would stay so far away from James Harden. Let
Really?
him go to LA because he gonna get his money in LA. And he that's home to him anyway. That's his. I think he's from LA, but I don't see it. His attitude. And if he doesn't get his way, and if he gets traded, that he's gonna want to be the man. You're not the
That's
man.
true.
It's gonna be Ja Morant's team. So they would have to. I would rather get Paul George there than James Harden. He's
Paul
walking.
George
He's
and
walking after this year.
Paul George is Paul George is willing to play that role. He doesn't have
Right.
to be the number one. You
He
know,
said it.
yeah, he bought in since 2019 when he joined. Well, he
Mhm.
wasn't even like that in OKC with Russell Westbrook. You know, he bought into playing with Russell and Carmelo Anthony. He went right in and bought in with playing with Kawhi. So, PG is a team player.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know
but
why the Clippers trying to get rid of him.
Well, remember when he played with OKC, that was his MVP year. Remember, he was up for MVP that year. He played real well with Westbrook. That's why they
Yeah.
got along really well. Of course, Dame ruined it for him, but um, he was in that MVP conversation. But and he's on his podcast, he said, once he got there with Kawhi, he knew Kawhi was the better player, and he had been on enough teams now where he just felt like he couldn't carry it himself. So being a number two wouldn't be a bad thing
What if somebody like what about a Zach LaVine joining Ja Morant in Memphis because
for
he
youth.
could be moved in Chicago if they get off to a slow start because of his contract.
That's a great, and you Marcus Smart, that would be almost an even trade. I don't know how the money matches, but as far as you got a defensive player of the year, he's a tough minded. At Chicago, they got that mindedness there, the Windy City. But um, him and yeah, that would be nice. And he's a high flyer. You can see them doing oops to each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Not very, very nice. He just got to stay healthy. Um, on the floor, they definitely have to find a way to find a nice solid backup. But that would be nice for the future. He's still pretty young, and him and Jock can go, push for championships together.
Yep. That's a fact. Last thing that I got, bro, this Tuesday, opening night, we got the Lakers and the Nets. I mean the Nets, the Lakers and the Nuggets ring ceremony game, 7:30 on ESPN. What's your expectations? What you expect to see in this first game, bro, with Denver and LA? How's it going to play out?
Well, I'm hoping to see all players on deck on the floor. I've seen AD talk about it. I've seen was it Reeves talk about it. They're a little salty about what Denver was doing the whole summer, talking about the Lakers and keep mentioning them, and now they Mike Malone acting like they forgot about it or whatever. Well, the Lakers didn't. So hopefully they come out with a lot of energy, and everybody just goes out there and try to put it on them on their ring night.
I saw because we talked before here on the show about Anthony Davis saying that they remember what happened last season and they pretty much got Denver targeted, and I was saying how I don't really know if that's a good idea for the Lakers to be so focused on one team. We saw the Clippers when they came together with Kawhi and Paul George, they built their team to beat the Lakers, not
Right.
the NBA, and they wound up losing. And I'm like, the Lakers shouldn't be really doing that, focusing on Denver. They need to focus and build their team around winning, versus the NBA. And LeBron James earlier today, he had mentioned that, he's not motivated by Denver at all as far as opponents or inspiration and stuff like that. So, it is going to be interesting, bro. BA in the building. Salute my G. What's up, family?
So
Hey, salute fellas. My bad, man. Y'all know I'm on the road, I'm moving, but I was like, man, I
Oh
gotta
no,
come up
so
here and
oh
salute
no,
my
you know.
peoples.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
I also want to say, man, James Harden is James Harden is the real MVP. He the real MVP.
Bro.
This is how you manipulate a system and still get paid. Salute to him.
And you know what's crazy, bro? Is James, do you think money matters more than anything else? Because you absolutely right, BA. This is a perfect way to manipulate and still get your money, but he's not going to land where he wants to land. Let's be real. Daryl Morey and them not going to put him in that destination, I don't think, of LA unless they get something special for him.
Thanks. I with James Harden has made so much money in his career. Like he's made what over $300 million, I believe, overall.
Yep.
So right now with him, I think it's somebody that's just setting their ways, and I think it's still about money to him, man. He still wants to get paid. I don't think he care about where he really want to go now. I think it's like just pay me. The promise for him was the pay or whatnot, but it's where he wanted to be. But I think he's still trying to squeeze every little bit of change that he can get out the NBA for whatever endeavors he's gonna have going towards the future.
no,
That's
you
what I
already know what he's using that money on. He already got his jersey retired there.
That's a
BA, do you
fact. That's a
believe
fact.
do you believe in the whole personal issue story? That's the reason why he's been a no-show in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I do believe that. I believe that it is. It's personal to him because of the relationship that he did have with the person that did help him to help create him to become a star. And if when you do business with people that you are really friends with, that you grow a bond with, and you do certain type of a business with these individuals, and when you promise something, you expect something out of it. And when you don't get that promise with something that you think, like, man, forget this business, man. Hey, man, I believe in you. I put everything, man. Hey, this is my guy, and that doesn't come to pass. You're gonna feel a certain type of way, and that's what's going on with him right now at this moment.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with a guy who you had a relationship with before. You know, him and Daryl Morey in Houston was like this.
Yeah, because he let him do whatever he wanted to do,
Yep. That
all
was
access.
part of the reason I think him and Russell fell out that
Yeah.
year.
Hey, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, everybody that went there that were stars that could have helped them potentially when they were in Houston were so tired of him. Like everybody that went there. True. I mean, if everybody could remember, he's been given a bunch of cast members who could have got him to that next level in Houston. It never worked
Yeah.
out. And he was the only remaining factor while everybody else ran. And remember, when he was there, they brought in a busted up John Wall, and they brought in DeMarcus Cousins as well to help him, just to see what was going on. And both of them couldn't even stand him. So
I didn't I
that
didn't
tells you a lot.
realize I didn't realize, fellas, that Lonzo Ball, he's about to turn 26 years old. He hasn't played a basketball since he was 22.
That don't seem right.
He said, "What?
Nah.
Lonzo Ball? No, he played. He played the year
Yeah.
before last.
He played in
It
Chicago. They was off to a
says
great start too.
Yeah,
that's what
he missed
I don't where this coming from.
because he missed all of last season, but the season before that, he played. He played half of that season, I believe, because the Bulls were on fire when
Yeah.
they had Lonzo. He was playing very, very well, and then when he got hurt, that's when they kind of just went into oblivion, and he hasn't been back on the court. But he played with Chicago, yeah,
At the
about a
beginning,
half a
I was about
season.
to say, okay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
tripping. Like, where this post come from? All right. Damn, bro. Like, that's really all the hell I had. I see my boy LeBron, now that Iggy retired, LeBron James is officially the oldest player in the damn NBA.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Iggy, man. Great career. Great career.
Great
hey,
career for
Iggy
Iggy.
about to make more money off the court than he did on the court with
Oh
this tech
yeah. Oh,
industry.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. You better believe that. He definitely gonna be a high priority. I see Gilbert Arenas and Dreamers Pro going at it again. I see
I
Gilbert
seen
dropped a
something on
video
live.
today.
I didn't see it. What happened? I didn't know what happened. I meant to take a look at it.
You
Yeah.
know, just another breakdown reaction video. I didn't get to see all of it. What do y'all fellas think the
Yeah.
end game is when we talk about Gilbert and Dreamers Pro? Should we get like a one-on-one debate, or should we just keep getting like content back and forth? Like, how you think this is going to play out for real?
What did my guy Flavor Flav tell us way back in the late 80s, early 90s? He said, "Don't believe the hype." That's what he said, right? It's smoke
Mm.
and mirrors. Behind the scenes, it's business being done to take something to another level than what it is, especially by bringing a player like Gilbert Arenas up into the fold, who has, I don't know if y'all been watching Gil's Arena. Gil's Arena has been fire the last like couple
Oh,
of months.
Oh yeah.
it's off the charts. It's off the
Yeah, I like
charts. And
Gilbert Arenas.
that episode with Patrick Beverly, that was a
Yes,
classic. Like that's really just got me sold on that show. But I'm
bro.
saying this. Let me ask you this though: is something wrong with that? Let's say, for example, Charles Dreamers Pro was he invested into this situation, or he bought into this situation, you know, to help his brand. Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not. This is how a lot of people come up. But believe it or not, they shake each other hands off camera, and then on camera they talk crazy and go crazy, and then it benefits one particular party. It doesn't really benefit Gilbert Arenas because he already who he is, and he
Yeah.
already millions in the game. But if you have a business opportunity, or if you got some bread or whatever that you can put them on behind the scenes with something, hey, get it popping. Let me get you. Hey, let me build you up. Let me build you up. We might see Dreamers Pro. He might get invited to Gil's Arena one day.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I
Right.
was thinking too. Maybe Gil's throwing him a bone. I said that when we talked about it last time. Maybe he throwing him a bone to see what he do with it. I think he got some more subscribers out of it already. So getting
Yeah,
Gil's attention is not a bad thing. Now, if he was a really, you know, talker, talking trash, then this would be even more dynamic. You know,
yeah. It's different. It's different from the Kwame Brown situation. If y'all remember with
right? I remember
Gilbert,
that.
it got personal. Things were said. This, that. People, they really weren't laughing. Both of them really were talking about fighting and all this other crazy nonsense. This Dreamers Pro thing, this is strictly words. Both of them laughing at each other,
But
giggling.
BA, we content creators, bro, and we respect the business side of that whole type of element or relationship. But do you still respect the content? If it's scripted, if it's premeditated, if this is all an agenda, storyline, do you respect the content though?
As a fan and as a viewer, it is I respect the entertainment
Yeah,
because it's when once they start breaking down, if they going back at each other, it's all entertainment. But once they both get back into their bags, their normal bags of breaking down the X and O's of the game and bringing up
yeah,
stories and going into the stories, that's what they trying to draw you into to see that part of them because they both are pretty dope. I like Dreamers Pro. I know a lot of people don't, but I like them.
I I mean, like, it's just like any real type of blogger or personality, especially like on social media, you shouldn't be agreeing with everything they say. Like, that's just the whole point of debates and having conversations. But his setup, his brand, like everything has been spot on. I like the way he got his platform. And I think whether he lose an argument with Gil or whether he wins one, like you said, it's just a major alley oop, you know,
yeah,
right now. Like, even if Gil never invites him on the show, Gil has put enough light on this kid, respectfully, that, he can run with it. And I'm pretty sure he gained a nice little more following in the last week or two.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a think about it. The dope part about cross branding, like what's happening now, especially for a person like Dreamers Pro, is now a whole audience, a genre of audience that didn't pay attention to you because they probably thought you were too soft or that you were compromised or whatever, or that you are a LeBron hater and whatever, because he is a LeBron hater too. But
yeah. I done this. Yeah,
yeah, but at the same time, that's where our connection is because we both LeBron haters. But with that being said, you bring it in a whole dynamic for a whole new audience of people that's going to share your content and grow your brand.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, I knew of him before. I knew about the beef he had with which I was his name.
Facts.
Yeah,
Rashid.
yeah, Rashid. But that's why I was shocked when you dropped it in the chat. Like, okay, dang, he going at Dreamers Pro. Let's see what's happening.
Me too. I was just as shocked when it popped up on my timeline because Dreamers Pro has been talking about Gilbert Arenas the last couple of years. Because I know I've been watching him since he had about 30 some thousand subscribers. Now he's on his way to 200,000. So I've been watching him
Really?
for a minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been watching him for a minute, man. The setup and everything has been dope, bro. He been dope to me.
yeah. I mean,
I
I
haven't
see.
heard it. I heard of him like earlier this year is when I really first started tapping in and heard of Dreamers Pro, and I kind of got intrigued by the title of his videos. It got some intriguing titles, and his
Yeah,
thumbnails, his presentation, his marketed is spot on. So that's what got me sold on him.
yeah. He's one of those guys, man. He's one of those guys I've been watching for Like I said, the last couple of years I've been watching him, just like Jimmy High Roller and all of the other ones that have their big channels.
Yeah,
When they
Jimmy High Roller.
them
But
shock
that shit,
value, it's the shock value of the thumbnails, bro, and how they name their videos is so it's dope.
but bro,
Clickbait in a sense.
both of y'all, like, isn't this shit risky though? Like when you are going back and forth with someone that like a Gilbert Arenas who knows the game of basketball like the back of his hand, who got time on his hands to play types of games on social media, who embraces that. And if Gilbert is able to pick apart your stories and put holes in your story, isn't that risky? Like you could lose all the credibility that you have on your platform because you now have a professional basically saying, man, everything this dude has been telling y'all in his delivery has been all cap and all inaccurate. I think it's risky.
Nah, it's only risky if you are a newcomer, but you gotta understand, um, it's a you have when you come up in the game of whatever type of genre, especially on YouTube, it is you have your hardcore base fans that are gonna rock with you no matter what,
Regardless.
and that will continue to grow through time, built off of strictly consistency. Similar to the PC channel, right? Similar to the PC, right? And salute to them, and salute to Laker Leg because that's my favorite show on PC, by the way. But anyway,
Appreciate you.
uh, with that being said, like you got so many different dynamic conversations of people, and then you had some people outside of PC that criticize PC. You had basketball players like Kevin Durant criticize PC and things of that nature, and
Mhm.
all that did was pulled them back up. Why? Because of their hardcore fan base, their core
Right.
base, should I say, of fans.
And he threw some shine on PC that one time too. With
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he
they
did
got
throw some
into
shade
it
too.
low.
Jason Williams had a show on Player's Choice. White Chocolate.
I seen him on
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah,
he had a
yeah,
Yeah,
show.
he
yeah,
had his own. He had his own
yeah.
show on Player's Choice last season.
Shaq was on there too. Shaq was on
Yeah.
there too. Yeah, like
That's what you call his
Chilltown
cousin.
was on ESPN.
Yeah. I seen
yeah. I
that too.
forgot he was on. He was on there. So
Yeah.
that core, bro, is all about that core following, and that core following is based off of consistency. As long as you don't change to the point where you are where you compromise yourself to being super fake, and you just remain you, and you built that through consistency, man. No matter who tries to come debate you or anything, you've been here. You've been here, and your fans know that you've been, not fans, but your supporters know that you've been here, and they gonna rock with you.
Do y'all want to see a one-on-one debate with Gilbert and Dreamerspro?
I say it'd be big for content creators, not just for Dreamers Pro himself. As long as he don't go in there and embarrass himself, and I don't think he will. He's from the last video I seen, he was respectful.
Would he accept the challenge, bro? Do you think he would accept the challenge? Like if we had like some even third party that would be willing to host and moderate this whole setup situation, do you think Charles would accept the challenge to debate Gilbert Arenas live
And
in
I
front
think
of the
so.
American public?
He
yeah,
asked him. He asked him to come on the show on his own
yeah,
show.
he would. He
Who, Gilbert?
would.
No, Dreamer.
But you
Yeah,
know, you can quarterback when you got your own show. You can quarterback and manipulate shit how
sure.
you want. BA, you know this. You know what I'm saying? Like you, at the end of the day, you can spin your show however you want, no matter who you got on there. But when you don't have no control, it's a whole different type of environment. Like you
Uh,
can get
I,
exposed.
I rocks with Dreamers Pro. I rocks with Chuck. I rocks with Chuck, but Chuck don't want that smoke though. He don't want
And
that
when that
smoke
smoke
with
with
Gil.
Gil,
He don't really
but he
want that
shouldn't duck
smoke
it
with
though.
Gil.
Don't duck it though,
Hey,
Charles.
no,
Don't duck it, bro.
I hope he don't, because the way that he seems like a guy that needs to be in a controlled environment in order to do something like that. He can't go in. He doesn't strike me as a guy
Being
through
on a
the years,
panel,
a couple years. Yeah, to be on a panel, like
a
what's
round
my guy
table,
name? What's my guy name? He ain't like Ticket TV.
ticket.
Ticket TV.
Ticket Man.
I don't know about you. I've been rocking with Ticket for 3 or 4 years. I've been rocking with Ticket
Yeah,
for a minute, but
yeah,
Ticket can go into pure chaos. Don't know
yeah.
nobody
Ticket
on the
Dreamers
panel.
Pro. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Did
Yep.
you see him
Exactly.
call what's his name? Whitlock? Did you see him call his show and went off on him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw that. I saw that.
Did you see him and Jason Williams? him and White
Yeah,
Chocolate. Did you see
Nah, I
them
didn't see
go
that one.
crap? Yo, they
yeah.
went
Ticket,
crazy.
ticket is box office, bro. Ticket is box office. Shout out to my PC fam. Um, but yeah, man, you is I'm liking what I'm seeing, bro. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And Gilbert, even though it's an alley oop being given indirectly, Gilbert can't say that he made Dreamers Pro or he helped Dreamers Pro, but to
Facts.
so much because this dude has built his own platform.
Right.
So that's another respectable thing. But I would love to see a real organized, structured type of show or debate with those guys, just to see how he would, match up. And I don't expect him to know more than
No,
Gilbert Arenas when we talk about the game. I mean, I think that's ludicrous, but just to see him not duck the smoke and maybe get a round or two in, I think it'd be decent. Shit, go for what you know.
but you know what? I don't think Gilbert would have went at some random platform. He wouldn't come.
That's a fact.
He went at a platform that had a nice following.
That he respect. Yeah.
And it does help him too. Content is content. He has
Yeah.
so many. He has a few shows. He got the Gil, No Chill Gil, and Gil's Arena, and all this other stuff. He got
Yeah, the Fubo show that he got too.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's putting together a lot of content. He went after somebody that got a decent following.
But yeah, but Gil said this one thing too. When they first started going back and forth on the first video, he was like, "Man, one thing I can say, this guy might not, this Dreamers Pro might not know what he's talking about, but his setup, his calmness, etc." He's like, "Man, I like that, man." And that's
He in
and
his
he said
bag,
it out of
bro.
Gil said it out of his own mouth. He's like, "Man, I can use some of this stuff to help me on my individual journey doing this, which is
Yep.
big time."
Yeah,
That's
he
a
did. He
fact.
did say that. I mean, he supported his brand deal too. He played it
Yeah,
through his. I was like, all right.
that's how
I
I
got one
know
more
it's smoking
topic for
good.
y'all fellas. One more topic before we step out of here. I'm seeing a little bit of trouble in Milwaukee. I need you. My wings, BA. My wings. Just get
Uh,
ready. Because I see trouble in Milwaukee already. What's his name? Terry Stotts, the assistant head coach.
Yeah,
He left. What's
yeah,
up with that?
bro. We don't know what's up with that, man. It could be personal reasons. It could be anything,
Nah,
bro. Come
nah.
on, just because a coach steps down and leave doesn't mean that it's trouble in Milwaukee, bro.
Not when
That
you
doesn't
talking about
mean
a
that,
coach stepping down from a team that's expected or projected to win a championship. Nah, you
bro.
don't see that. You don't see that.
But we don't. But my point is it could be he could be having health issues. It could be anything, bro. That's underlying that we don't know about. So I'm not
He
about
would
to
have took
jump
a
out
leave
the
of
window.
absence.
What is
He
it?
would have took a
50?
leave of absence, BA.
Nah. 58 games, right? Was it 55 or 58? I think I gotta look on my
I think it
calendar
was
because I did.
58.
Yeah, 58. 58 games. Yeah, we gonna see. We gonna see.
Yeah, it could be
It's a
something
shame he is.
personal. Remember, the coach that took over for the Pistons, who played coach for the Suns last year.
Mhm.
What's the name? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
If you
I
were
can't think of his
if you
name,
were
but
in a
Is it Monty?
Monty Williams.
Yeah, Monty Williams. Yeah.
The
if
reason
you
why he
were in a
wasn't going to go back
burning
to
building,
coaching.
if you were in the burning building and got out, would you call that personal? Or you would just call that smart, right? He
Yeah,
already
but
knows that this thing in Milwaukee is not going to work. He's exiting stage left
uh,
way early. He knows this thing. He already knows this thing is not going to work. He
every
left early.
but
Trust me.
you gotta understand though, maybe he got asthma. Maybe it wasn't burning up and it
Right.
was a little smoke. Everybody don't got asthma. But since he got asthma, he gotta leave. Everybody can't take that smoke.
Right. Like
You
I
feel
was
me?
saying,
Everybody can't take it.
Monty Williams' wife got cancer or sick or something. That's the reason why he waited. So maybe it's something serious, something
Oh
serious
nah.
like that.
My Monty Williams' wife died in a car accident with his kids.
No, he got a
With
new wife.
the new wife. Okay, I didn't know the new wife.
Yeah, that's
But
why
yeah,
he didn't take the job with the Pistons
He
right
got
away.
married already.
He's married.
yeah,
Shame on
because
him.
it's been about 5 or 6 years since that happened. 7 years since that happened,
Nah,
bro.
You know?
that's still
So
too
maybe it's
early.
something with starts with that. Maybe it's something really personal. and he just needed time away because I don't see why you would leave. I mean, they still have a good team. I do think the defensive part is going to be a problem. You lost a key guy, but beyond that, they're a good team.
Even though Brooke Lopez is an amazing defender, and Giannis is an amazing defender too. So
Yep.
they still got two defenders in that lineup that's gonna handle their business.
And my man that came from Phoenix, I forgot what's his name. Hopefully, he can show up this year. He's a pretty good defender too.
What's his name?
Cameron Payne.
Play with Jimmy Butler.
Uh, not Payne.
He wanted to be traded the whole year, and they held on to him, and finally he got out.
Yeah, and I gotta say this last thing because I know you're about to shut it down, Seven. But yo, shout out to Steph Curry Jr. He went out there in Washington. He went out there to DC. He about to light it up. I made sure he on my fantasy team too. Shout out to him. Yeah, I don't know what they gonna do. I don't know what the Wizards gonna do this year. But I know that they got a bona fide scorer that the training wheels are off. He about to go crazy.
What did he just do? 40 something?
Yeah,
41?
41 and
1 for 15 from the field the next game.
yeah, next game you 1 for 15. You 1 for 15.
Yo.
Yeah, you right.
JP is gonna have DMV in the palm of his hands, bro.
Facts, bro.
He
Yeah,
got
he
nothing
switched
but
up.
shots. He gonna be all right. He
But
gonna
they
have a
ain't
good
gonna
year.
they ain't gonna win.
I think, bro, they got a chance to make it to the playoffs to be a top 8
You think
team,
so?
bro. Yeah, bro, especially with the point guard that they just got that he's starting now. Old boy,
Memphis.
Tyus, that
Yeah,
just
Tyus
yeah,
Jones.
now we know how efficient he was, the best backup point guard in the NBA probably the last 2 seasons. Now he getting his starting chance, and I don't know if you've been seeing how he been moving because I've seen a couple games from him this year. He making everything easy for everybody, bro.
Yeah, it depends on how that defense plays too.
That's they ain't gonna be able to.
They
It's
can
one
get
of the
shots
worst
up, but they don't play no
defensive
defense.
teams
It's a wrap.
last season, right?
You said what, Sarah?
They was one of the worst defensive teams last season.
Yeah, they're gonna be one of the worst defensive teams this year too.
Yeah, they gonna get shots up. Him and my man
Kuz.
Kuzma.
Yeah,
I
Kuz.
like Kyle Kuzma. I like Kyle Kuzma though. I liked his growth that I seen last season. But
I'm looking
I
for him.
just,
Him and Spencer Dinwiddie go at it.
they talking
all right,
crazy
what's
to
up,
each
my
other.
G?
Salute.
So y'all feel like Washington could possibly. I mean, we got 10 spots, BA, because you got the play-in tournament. So the top 10,
Yeah,
teams got a chance. You think Washington really could make a top 10 spot in the East?
Yeah, I'm liking Washington, man. I'm liking Washington. I'm liking Houston too, by the way. I'm liking the Rockets. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Rockets right now too, man.
They really
More than
improved.
OKC? Who got the brightest future, Houston or Oklahoma City?
OKC right now. OKC. They got a brighter future. And I only say that because
Really?
Chet make them. They were good without Chet, but adding Chet, that changed the whole dynamic because you got this 7-foot guy that's going to be overlooked because there is another guy by the name of Wembanyama who's a little bit taller than him, but he plays similar to
Green is better
Wembanyama.
than Chet Holmgren.
You said who?
Jalen Green is better than Chet Holmgren.
Nah, he not.
Yeah, what?
Not yet. His potential, possibly.
Then you
The
got
ceiling-
Amen, got a better coach.
Yeah, but I'm going. But they don't got. What's my point guard name?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
They don't got that. Ain't nobody on their team.
Yeah, they don't have nobody for him.
They don't got no Shea on their squad. I like Fred VanVleet and all of that, but they got the power forward, the young power forward that they drafted last year. He's gonna be a stud. The center that they got, Seguin, he could be a stud. Jalen Green, of course. The dude that they just drafted, Amir, I forgot his last name, but
Amen Thompson.
The twin.
Yeah, the twin. got the potential to be a defensive lockdown specialist. So
And they
they
got rid of
got
their cancer and Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah,
right.
he
They was
messed
able
that
to
up,
move
man.
away from him. They was able to move away from him. So that's good. You ain't
Yeah.
got to worry about that going into the season.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be the locker room headache.
Did
Facts.
OKC
Yep.
get rid of him yet?
Yep.
Okay.
He free. If
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken, he's free. All right,
facts.
fellas, I'm
Facts.
about to wrap this one up, bro. I appreciate y'all joining me tonight here on the show.
No problem. And I
Facts.
forgot. I remember his name, Jay Crowder,
Jay
Milwaukee.
Crowder. Oh yeah, Jay
Oh,
Crowder he gonna do numbers. He gonna do numbers in Milwaukee. He is as a role player.
I can't wait, bro. It's going down opening night Tuesday. NBA is back, y'all.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
wait, fam. All right, fellas, y'all have a good night. I catch everybody tomorrow. We live on Lakerland on Players Choice tomorrow. I'm sorry, what time we live tomorrow? Shit, 1:00 p.m. Eastern, man. So is it 1? I don't even know, bro. I swear, I don't even
I thought it
remember.
was because it's
1
usually
to
around.
3.
I want to say it's usually around 11 o'clock my time. I thought so. 12, 1, 2, and a 2.
I think it's. Oh my god.
Everybody show up early.
It's one
Yeah,
Be there
one
about
o'clock,
12:30.
1:00
yeah.
p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 1:00 p.m. Eastern on Sundays, 7:00 on Tuesdays. But we're doing an early show because of opening night on Tuesday. But tomorrow on Players Choice at 1:00 p.m. Eastern, we go on a full breakdown of opening night. I got Dan, the Lakers fan, joining me, so should be an interesting one, fellas. Y'all are definitely welcome to join me tomorrow if y'all free. You know, I'll get at y'all tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I'm definitely pulling up. I don't got nothing to do on Sundays. But
Oh man,
salute, fellas.
well, rock with us, man, because it's going down tomorrow, man. I talk to y'all fellas tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks. Salute.
All right,
Salute.
fellas. Peace. Salute.
All right, sevens.